pilots of the internet. Welcome to Foldable Flight. My name is Kyle, and this is where I teach you how to fold paper airplanes that will blow your mind. And as you have seen from the flight test, I am teaching you a brilliant paper airplane today. This is called Hunter, and it is designed by OrigamiAirEnforcer, who has published over 400 unique paper airplane designs to his Instructables page, and he also has a YouTube channel here. So I'm leaving a card in the top right corner to that YouTube channel, and also there will be a link in the description to his Instructables page. So you can see this plane has a really cool aesthetic to it with these canards in the front, this cool wing shape in the back, and you may notice that it's kind of similar to the Vulcan, which I folded on my channel a couple weeks ago. And this plane is in that same line, and I really love the Vulcan. I love the Hunter, so I'm excited to get to teach you guys this plane today. So all you will need is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, but some optional items include a ruler and some tape, which you may find helpful. The tape is definitely not necessary, but it will improve the performance of the paper airplane. Again, the ruler is not necessary, but it may help you make some more precise folds than if you use estimations. So let's get started. You're just going to begin by folding this right edge to the left edge, as you so often do. And while we have this folded in half, our next step is actually to fold from this corner here to this corner. Now this is our folded edge, and I'm going to rotate that so it's facing me. And basically what I want to do is I'm going to kind of pull on this corner, and I want to pull until I can't really pull any farther because it's catching at this corner. That helps me line this corner up first, and then I just swing this until it seems to be going to that back corner. This is the way I've had the easiest time making accurate folds from this diagonal to the other diagonal. And I will flip it over, and I'm folding this side to match the other side. Whether you got the other side exactly correct or not, you want to maintain symmetry just by folding this side to match up with the other side as your reference, rather than just trying the same thing on this side, going from corner to corner. Say you're matching this corner up with that corner now, and then we will open this up like so, and I'm going to fold this edge here to that crease there. And I'll do the same thing on this side. The next step is just to fold this top edge so it lands on that crease there. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to unfold this and fold the top edge to land on this crease, rather. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And now we'll fold this edge here to land on that crease there. And I'll do the same thing over here. And now I will fold this in on its existing crease, and this side in on its existing crease. And now we're just going to fold this side in again on the existing crease, and you'll notice that a section of this crosses our center crease. And what I want to do is I want to fold that portion back across the center crease, and I want the new crease I'm making to land on the existing center crease of our plane. So it should look something like this at this point. And now I'm going to fold this side over, and I'm going to do the exact same thing and fold this portion back across that center crease. Okay, the next step is to fold this point here down, and we're going to crease through this corner to this corner. So that's actually your reference, is landing the crease through those two corners. And again, you want to make sure that the center crease of this, the point here, is landing on the center crease down here. Okay, and now we're going to actually fold that point back up slightly, and you just want to fold it until you reveal this intersection right here. This kind of V meets at a point in the middle between the two layers. You want to reveal that point. So I'm going to just fold up just a little bit here, and what that allows me to do is now I can tuck this portion into the two pockets that exist on either side. So I'm just going to tuck it in to one side at a time, and there we go. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over, and I want to fold this corner here so that it lands on the intersection between this crease and our bottom edge. And I want to make sure that the new crease I'm creating is parallel to my existing center crease, and I'll show you exactly how I'm ensuring that that happens. So what I did is I made sure that this portion of our bottom edge lands on this portion of the bottom edge on the opposite sides of the crease, and doing that makes sure that this crease is perpendicular to our bottom edge, and we know that this center crease is also perpendicular, so those lines are going to be parallel. And now I will fold this corner here to that center point. And again, I want this crease to be parallel, so I'm using that same trick. Okay, so now I will flip it back over like so. And we're going to do a little trick here where we're reversing this crease. You can see that this crease is currently a mountain fold on this side. We want that to be a valley fold, just this portion. What we're going to do is we're going to open this little front leading edge of our wing up and pull this in and land this corner back on the center crease. And you can see we also have a crease that is forming the edge of our plane right now. That's going to get reversed as well. So as we do that, we'll reverse this and land this whole thing in like that. That's called an inside reverse fold. And your wing should look like that. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Like so. The next step is to fold the plane, or this wing, so that this edge here lands on this edge here, along this edge. And doing so will make a crease that goes to this corner right here. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and now we're going to do something very similar with these creases. Basically, I want to open this up and pull this in, and this is the crease now that is being reversed. Currently, it's a valley fold. That's going to get turned into a mountain fold, and I'm going to flatten it like so. So I'm opening this up, pulling this out and flattening it like so. Okay, the next step is just to fold this top portion all the way down so it lands on this bottom edge, and we want to line up this center crease with that center crease. So I'm just going to take a second to do that, and that is all easy enough. Your plane should look like this, and the next step is to fold this forward, but we want to leave an inch. We want our crease to be 1 inch from the top of the plane. So I have this handy grid here where if I'm placing this at the top of one grid, I know that my crease needs to be right here. Again, this is an estimation so that if you guys don't get it exactly 1 inch, you are going to be in fine shape. And in fact, I probably won't even get it exactly 1 inch myself. But something like this is all you want. And I've creased a little hard. What I meant to do is make sure that my creases were lining up on this side, this center crease lining up with that before I made a hard crease. Thankfully, it did line up for me, so my plane is in fine shape. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to open this up and fold this outer edge here to this crease here. And I'm going to rotate that to do so, and I'm actually going to leave just a little gap. You can see between this crease and that edge, because this is a pretty thick layer, and we're going to end up swinging this forward again. So I want to make sure that I have the room to do that without my plane getting too wrinkly. And I'm going to fold this other side to match. Okay, and now with those pushed down, we do want to fold forward, and then we will fold our plane in half along that existing crease. Next, you're just going to fold the canards down, and the way you're going to do that is you can see where this edge here intersects the front edge of our plane. That's where you want to start your crease, and again you're trying to make this crease run parallel to our center crease and now the bottom edge of our plane. And to do that, I'll fold it, and we're using the same method we did before. I'm just making sure this portion of the front edge lands on this portion of the front edge. That's going to make a crease that is parallel to our bottom edge and center crease of our plane. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing, matching it to the other side, and that should look like that. And next we want to fold the wings of our plane, and you can see you want this to be the wing crease to start an inch above the bottom edge, and you're going to just fold that all the way to the front of the plane. Like so, and again we want that to be parallel to the bottom edge of our plane. And I'll flip it over and fold this side to match. And if you didn't get it exactly an inch on the other side, don't worry about it. You're just matching what you've already done. Okay, so now we're going to take a second and open up our wings and then place the plane back down on the table like so. What we want to do is we want to fold some winglets here. And one way I'm going to estimate on one side, and then I'll show you the exact measurements that OrigamiAirEnforcer uses to make sure that his winglet ends up being parallel to the center crease. So here's just an estimation. I'm going to land this point on this edge, and then just kind of visually make sure my crease is parallel to center. So it's going to be something like this. This probably won't be exact, but that's an estimation, a way you can do it. Or you can actually measure and break out your ruler, get really fancy. You want to start the rear edge of the crease, this right here, that point, should be an inch from this corner of your wing. and then the top point should be 1 3/4 inches from this corner. So if you had done it precisely, creasing from this point to this point should yield a crease that is parallel to the center. I'm going to just actually match the other side because, again, symmetry is really important here. And you can see, you'll notice that this corner does in fact land on that edge. So that's why you can use that as kind of an estimation. But there are many points where that could land on that edge without this being parallel to the center. So you kind of have to judge both at the same time. Anyways, without getting too far into the geometry of that, let's talk about the plane. You are at a state where this is a finished paper airplane. If you don't want to use tape, you have a plane that's going to work well regardless. You may notice that it dives down slightly, in which case you can bend the back edges of your wings up just slightly to compensate for that. That's called giving it up elevator, and that will increase its glide and its range for a plane where the center of gravity is a little far forward, which is also one of the reasons this plane will fly so far. So that's a finished Hunter, but let me show you guys the taping scheme that OrigamiAirEnforcer encourages you to use because it will improve the performance of the plane. So here is one that I have taped up, and you can see I've taped this space right here on the nose below the canards and this bridge right above the canards. Taping both of those will hold your fuselage together really nicely. And then you can see normally this would pull away from the fuselage, but I've taped this section to the fuselage, and this bridges to the other side here, and that's holding all of those layers together really nicely. And you can see on this side I've taped the canards to the fuselage as well. Now also I've taped up here at the back of the wing. I'm holding the wings together with that, and then I've taped here and here as well, just taping some layers together, making it a little more aerodynamic. Also, you can tape here and here to hold those layers down if you're having trouble and they're not holding tightly. Mine happened to be holding tightly, so I did not apply any tape there. So that is the full taping scheme for Hunter, and with that taping scheme, you're going to achieve its maximum performance. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe by clicking that icon in the top right corner, and consider watching some more of my videos here. If you really like what I do, head over to foldableflight.com or patreon.com/foldableflight. I'll see you in the next video.